Hey guys, it's Kerri-Ann and I am here today with a video a little different. I'm openly admitting to the state of my watercolour palettes. So as you can see, I have an awful lot of watercolour palettes. Obviously some are used for workshops, some are used for my work that I do for practice, and some are used for when I'm actually doing pieces on commission work and all sorts of different reasons really, but I have lots of different watercolours and lots of different tins. This is just a selection of the worst ones that I've got. I have got more, but as you can see, I haven't been taking care of them, and that's something I really should do much better. I should know better. So these obviously, they need filling and cleaning. All the palettes need cleaning as well. You can see some of the ones here were purchased as a pan set. This one's mainly used by children, as is this one here. So they all need a really good clean, and they need some love and care to make them much better and much more usable. This one's probably the most presentable one because it's the least used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick video which I will speed up, but I will go through the process of how I'm going to look after my watercolour palettes. So I'm going to clean them, refill them and organise them, and I'm also investing in some new watercolour tubes which I am going to put into pans and things, so I'll do some filming of that as well. So if you've got watercolour palettes a little bit like mine that are looking a bit of a mess, then maybe this will inspire you to get your palettes out and give them a really good clean, because I think sometimes you feel much more creative when your space is really organised and clean and tidy. It gives you sort of an undistracted mind, because for me, I'm finding that I'm very distracted by the mess and wanting to clean it rather than actually focusing on painting. So let's get started. Let's give these a really good wash and clean. go through all of the watercolour palettes and clean them as best I could. Obviously they're not perfect, they're never going to be with the paints that I'm using. A lot of them are highly pigmented, so they do stain quite quickly, but they're much better than before. So I have done as many of the palettes as I want to be cleaned and refreshed. There are all of the little pans. So all of these pans now, I'm going to carefully clean them all around the edges, because I want all the edges to be nice and clean, so that I can actually read the labels. I'm going to pop all the paper towels in the recycling. I'm going to give the sink a clean. I apologise for the absolute state of it at the moment. And for those that were wondering, this is an old children's brush, so it's just a really old bristle brush. So I never ever use one of my nice brushes to do the cleaning job. I just use some of the old children's brushes. So these are going to now dry, so you can let them air dry if you want to, or for me, so that they dry really quickly, I usually grab a hairdryer or just a little damp a little cloth that I don't mind getting damp. So I'm going to go through and clean all of these palettes now, so they're super nice and fresh, and then I shall get started with reorganising and recreating some new palettes for myself, which will include, of course, creating new pans. I think I'm going to go for the half pans this time, because the half pans, which are this size here, I think when I work with some of the new paints that I'm just about to get, I'm going to start by just putting small amounts out at first. So thanks for watching, everyone. I know that was probably a bit of a strange, boring video for some, but for me, I just thought I would show you a little bit of the sort of general care and looking after palettes, because I think it's actually quite refreshing to give them a really good clean. Some might think of it as waste, but after a while you can become really uninspired by a messy palette. So cleaning out your palette of watercolour can actually re-inspire you and get you started. It's kind of like starting out with fresh watercolours all over again. So I shall get started now on a new video, so head over to the next video, which will show you how I'm going to create my new watercolour palette. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye.